So I'd like to give you a little tour of the gongs in my room here. This is 20-inch wind gong. It's kind of nice. Over here, we have, I think it's a 24-inch wind gong. Sounds better because, of course, we all know in life size matters. Now, these are Chinese gongs. They're made from an alloy of copper and tin. These are all, the rest are all German gongs made from an alloy of copper and nickel. Right? Do you want a Chinese car or do you want a German car? And you can see all of my mallets have been customized so that you don't hear the attack. It's very soft so that the sound can just come from nowhere, because when you hear the attack, I'll give you an example, like this, it's like the attack is the very first part of the sound, like this. And when you have that, if you're in a very calm state and you hear this, it kind of brings you back. Now there's a bunch of other tools you can use with these gongs. I'm going to try and use some smaller ones, so hopefully it'll come through on the recording. These are called flumies, and the smaller ones many people, they're behind the gong, or in the room, they'll have an experience of being underwater, in a cave, out in space. Those are kind of the most common things, that these sounds sort of take you out of your body. Some people will stand behind the gong and they'll say, it's like there was a vortex and I was sucked into the gong and I was out in space. All the bowls are laid out in precisely measured sacred geometry. So you can see this one and this one and this one right here is one triangle, while this bowl and this one is another triangle of the opposite polarity, and it's also a hexagon, it's also a six-pointed star. And then all of these bowls are laid out similarly, right, where you have this is a very unique instrument. It's called an inado. It's made out of ceramic. There's 3 different lobes that actually plays 3 notes at the same time. And each one of these lobes can play 4 notes. Right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's designed so that all of the notes all sound good no matter what. So you don't really have to know anything about music. Here's a couple of the drums that I use. This, usually I play right above the person for the invocation. Now, you can't tell there, but when this is held over your body like this, it is an amazing experience of these powerful vibrations just resonating all of your cells, your organs, your tissues. We have this, which is a Taos drum. This is made by some Zuni tribal members, and it's made from one tree that's been hollowed out. I'm not sure about this. It's maybe over 50 years old. See, here's the brand that was on the buffalo that was used for the hide. The problem I have with this drum, it feels so good. Once I start playing, it's hard for me to stop. And this is an instrument that I helped to invent. This is a stone that is cut, came from India, from Svaram, and an engineer friend and I invented this bass so it can resonate. I call this the cosmic transducer. Transducer is something that changes energy from one form to another. Sometimes people will come in for a session on the table and with a friend or loved one, and I have them play the harp while the person is getting the crystal set and everything set, because it's so simple. It's tuned to a pentatonic scale, so no matter what you do, it always sounds good. So you just pull your fingers towards you, push your thumbs away, you go slow or fast. Everybody can play the harp. Okay, so these chimes are set up. They also go with the harp. And same over here. And when you're in the middle, in between this, you get the sense of the sound going back and forth. Traditionally, rattles have been used to break up stuck energy. I was at a sound meditation a dozen years ago or so, and someone was playing one of these flutes, and it was so beautiful, I had to get one. And then two. And then the next thing you know, I have a dozen of them. And all of these flutes they're very simple to play. I was in the Native American flute circle here for a while. There's one of those in almost every city, and over 90% of the people in the flute circle didn't know anything about music, but they could all play the flute. Most people really like the lower sounding flutes. Often at the end of somebody's session, I'll play the rain sticks. I made this one. This is just a cardboard tube with some drywall screws and popcorn, and works great. This little wind whistle. These are called Koshi chimes. They're made in France. People really like these. At the end of their session, we'll play these, and people have very interesting experiences on the table. When they hear these chimes, it kind of takes you to an angelic realm. This is a handpan called a Rav Vast. Actually, a tongue drum never has to be tuned.